This is Josiah Plays Dungeons and Dragons. This is the Shattered Crown campaign, DM'd by Scito. It's 5th edition Dark Sun. And my other players here, or Scito's other players, are Jen and Nox. So we're gonna have some fun. Okay, I have introed this.
Excellent. This time you remembered to actually, let us hear that you've done so instead of just a weird period of silence.
I'm still eating also, so...
Excellent. Okay, so who wants to basically get started where we are?
Can you remind us of what exactly happened at the very end of the last session?
Alright. At the very end of the last session, Nox had just won the caravan competition. Congratulations, Nox, by the way.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unlike some people who didn't even, take part in that.
Yep.
I mean, So now Nox has an iron dagger. What does Josiah have? Nothing but the memories of defeat at the hands of a little girl.
I have my dignity.
Anyways, so yeah, he had just won the caravan competition, and you were just about to leave that after a very eventful day at the festival. Jen has a chariot. Well,
That's awesome.
I should say Rabi has a chariot. Bikari has an iron dagger, and of course you have a towel. Or not Bikari, but yeah, Bikari. God damn it, I keep mixing up people's names.
Yeah, I have a towel.
And a stone of embers.
It's true. It's true. Gifted, of course, by the noble Haka.
The sad Haka.
Well, he wasn't sad then. He wasn't sad then. But we'll see if we can work on that. All right. So, do you want to get started, or do you want to say anything else?
Jen, don't go.
Yes, I don't know if Josiah said so in his intro, but unfortunately, Jen will not be joining us for the main campaign due to time fiends and work demons.
Scito's probably said something to you like, oh, I don't want to pressure you into it, it's fine. I want to pressure you into it. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, your real life takes priority.
Yep. So unfortunately, she won't be joining us for the main campaign, but still, we thank you, Jen, for all the assistance you provided. Unlike Josiah's assistance, which mainly consists of kicking sand in people's faces.
Yeah, that was great.
That was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll remember you for that awesome dance number.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. True. All right. So, if that's all, let us get started with the concluding session of the prologue, A Sanguine Affair. So, as I said, you've just finished with the caravan competition, and you're right now leaving the square in which it was being held. The streets at this point are fairly uncrowded. Most people are starting to sort of head in by this time, so there's not as much traffic anymore. Do any of you do anything while you're heading back? Because I imagine you want to head back to the lounge, Tashim's lounge.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all of the events for the festival, right?
Yeah.
No after events. All right. I want to head back to the lounge.
Yeah, I would say so.
I agree.
Okay. All right. So you are heading down the streets, and Ikari, you're the first one to notice this. In the middle of the street, you see a collection of broken bottles, which ordinarily wouldn't catch your attention, except you recognize the pungent smell of nacrite.
Of what?
Nacrite.
Oh, from the tea.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a bunch of bottles were broken.
There's about 3 or 4 bottles, or 4 bottles that are broken on the ground there. Do you want to take a closer look, or just ignore it because...
I point this
Okay.
out to my companions here. Look, those might have been the ones that Spark had.
God, I can't believe you freaking named her that so
Ugh. She seemed like she could take care of herself. I'm sure she's fine.
She might have been attacked.
How can you tell those are the same bottles?
Well, I can't, but nobody else had bottles of that stuff.
The guy was playing it off like it was really rare, but
At this point, I would go ahead and pull out the bottle that I had that was graciously handed to me by having it hurled at my head and say, can we, does this look like the same bottle? This is the one that she tossed to me, more or less, as she was leaving the arena.
Okay, so you compare them, and they are indeed the same. In fact, taking a closer look, you can see footprints in the ground. There's one that seems to belong to a child. You assume if this is indeed the little girl's, that this would be her footprints, as well as ones belonging to a larger individual.
Do both sets of footprints head off together?
The footprints end pretty quickly. Again, you can still see where there's imprints and where it made the ground sodden, but they quickly die away. But you do notice one thing, that there appears to be a trail of essentially this tea that, at least that's made the ground wet, leading away from this, off into one of the alleys.
We should look into this. So then Picard's just going to start following the trail.
All right. Do you guys follow him?
Yeah, I'll follow up behind.
Oh,
reluctantly
wait.
in the back.
Okay, important question. Would you like to lick the trail?
Nice.
Don't see why not.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, you lick the trail, and again, there is a delicious advanced alchemical taste that you know to be thornleaf tea, made with 20 ounces of nacrite.
I'm surprised that they use ounces as a system of measurement in Dark Sun.
Well, they use pounds, so...
Yeah, I suppose it makes sense. Otherwise, they just have to invent some new weird name for measurement, and why bother?
Maybe it's troy ounces of nacrites.
Who knows? I don't know. You crazy Americans and your imperial system.
Right, it's archaic enough. It sounds good.
Yeah. Anyways, so you continue heading down the trail, and it leads away. There's several points at which it looks like it's about to end, but then it suddenly starts up again, as if someone has been restarting the trail, and it's becoming fairly evident that whoever did this was not doing it by accident. This was a very deliberately laid trail.
So there's
How?
multiple tea trails leading away?
Yeah, like if one bottle had just emptied and then another one was being opened up.
Okay, so it's still one long trail.
Yes.
Okay.
Boss Pie says hello.
Hello, boss.
Hey, boss.
Okay, so do you want to keep following the trail?
Yeah.
Okay. You keep following the trail, and eventually it gets to a point where you then notice something has changed about the trail. The trail has just stopped, and looking nearby, you see a splash of red against the wall.
Damn it! I hate to see strawberry jam wasted like that.
Nice.
Bastards.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions. I'll take a look at it, I guess.
Okay. You don't have to make any rolls for it. It's blood. I'm not going to say how, but you know what blood looks like. You've had some experience with it, you know? And it's most definitely blood. It looks like it's just a splatter. It's definitely not enough from like a person getting killed or something, but you know,
Even a small person?
and even a small person would have bled a lot more. And again, this is something you know for a fact.
I have killed a lot of small people, yes.
Yeah, we're not going to. Hey, we're not going to judge, okay? All of you have killed some small people to this day.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it's blood. Can we go back now?
Is there still some kind of trail? Is there a blood trail?
No, there's not a blood trail, but you smell something, and it smells oddly familiar. Robbie, you're the one who recognizes it the most clearly. It smells like something you just smelled a while ago, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Do you want to follow it?
Does it make a little scent trail in the air that you can follow like in The Witcher?
Like in The Witcher.
Would you like to activate your half-elf sense?
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you don't have that, but you can follow the trail well enough. And eventually...
Which way is it going?
It's going deeper into these alleyways. And eventually, you recognize the smell as being perfume, specifically perfume that was worn by that woman, Shima.
Weird.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
What a stench.
So do you want to keep following it?
I look around to see if there's any more drips or blood or...
Not drips, but you're noticing something now that you didn't notice initially because the ground was, for the most part, too hard and dry, except for where the tea had been spilt. You're starting to realize that there's tracks that look like they might be from a wagon.
Do footprints look like they've led up to these wagon tracks?
No, the footprint, there doesn't appear to be footprints around them. Again, the only reason you can see these is because clearly whatever was being transported was relatively heavy, and it caused an indication. But the ground, for the most part, is simply too dry for it to show footprints. And you also note that the smell of the perfume is also leading in the same direction as the wagon.
We should go to the bar. Why are we even doing this?
I'm curious. I just want to know what happened.
Curiosity gets you killed in places like this.
Do not worry. The sacred flame will protect us.
Oh, do you still have that out?
Yeah?
Oh, God. Okay, you still have the flame out. Excellent. Okay. So, you guys all agree you want to keep following this?
I do.
I would follow at that point.
Ugh. All right.
Okay. So, you keep following for a while, and you round one corner, and lying there in the middle of the ground is Shima. Dead.
Oh, that's that dancer.
Uh,
What?
A shame.
Yeah, she was really talented. I guess I'll go look at her. Just flip her over. Is she face down or face up?
she's face down.
All right. I'm just gonna like check her over
Okay.
for loot mainly, but
That's hey, not a bad idea. You know what? Do some CSI on that. Okay, so you look her over and you don't see anything. Do you want to do an investigation roll?
yeah. Hold on.
just want to announce that it's Jello time.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I lost my. Hey, wait, what? I'm just opening random tabs right
Okay.
now. Hold on. What do I have in investigation? Ooh, good.
Okay, thank God it wasn't with disadvantage. Alright. So you notice several things. First off, there's several valuables on her body that used to be there but have been stripped away. And in addition, she has a very deep gash across her throat. Based on the look on her face, you would say that this particular throat gash was not a surprise to her. Rather, it was a surprise. She was not expecting it to come like this. Like it's a look of shock on her face.
Is there anything else in the vicinity or on the body?
Just those the trails of the wagon or whatever that continue leading away further.
Is there anything else around us in terms of people or movement or anything?
No, that's actually one of the peculiar things. It's almost dead silent. All the doors and windows have been shuttered. There's absolutely no one around.
This is most disturbing.
Really? Because it kind of just looks like a mugging to me.
Well, yes, I suppose you're right, but still, in a festival setting, it's just not good for the atmosphere.
Well, in fairness, the festival did include several people killing each other for sport.
True.
It's a hard city. She shouldn't have been in back alleys like this, and neither should we.
Well, a mugging usually doesn't involve somebody being killed.
Yeah,
Well-
that's actually that's one thing that you've noticed, Kari, because from your years as a gladiator, you recognize that this cut was not made by some haphazardly. This was a very precise blow. In fact, it was done so well that it was made in such a way and cut so quickly that it didn't spray blood across the ground. It essentially went right through her neck fast enough that the weight of her own head ended up sealing the wound a bit.
Can I get any kind of idea what sort of weapon might have been used to make this injury?
Something bladed, obviously. Based on the depth of it, you'd say it'd probably be larger than a dagger. But beyond that, it's too difficult to tell. But if you want to make an investigation check, you might be able to tell a bit more. Because investigation is something you're amazing at, I believe. But Nox, remember, you do have guidance. Well, guidance wouldn't have helped there. Yeah,
True.
You have no idea.
That's unguidable.
Yeah, and then you immediately walk into a wall and knock yourself unconscious. No. But no, you don't recognize it. You do notice, though, that as you go to take that closer look, there's a few drips of blood again that lead along with the wagon. So it seems they are following along the same path.
Let's keep following this and see where it leads. Did you find anything useful on the dead dancer?
It looks like she was carrying things. She's not anymore. Did I look thoroughly already? Did I see anything?
Oh yeah, you did a job that was as good as Ikari's was poor.
Excellent.
Yeah. I swear to God, there's something about the players rolling that they always seem to roll far worse than the DM does.
I think Roll20 is rigged.
Yeah, I think so too. There's some bullshit going on here.
Hacks.
Roll20 gate.
Let me see. Well, if we're gonna go, let's go. We're just standing around here talking like a bunch of targets.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
All right. Well, you don't have to walk too much further before you start hearing something in the distance. And although you can't make out what's being said, you are clearly hearing the sound of children, and they are not happy.
I'm gonna keep going that way.
Okay. As you get closer, the cries are becoming louder, and it's becoming clear whoever it is, they're calling for help.
This is so a trap.
This is so a trap. My character says.
Excellent.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where your character?
That's all right. Those who would seek to ambush us will be consumed
Yes.
by almighty flame.
And they will never be able to see you because you're stealthily moving along with that open flame in your hand.
Very comforting.
Mm-hmm.
So
Perfect stealth.
I'm not trying to be stealthy at all, actually.
I know. Otherwise, that flame would be poorly. Okay. Well, you follow in until finally it opens up into a clearing. And the clearing...
A clearing? Are we still in the city?
You know, you're still in the city. I mean, like a clearing of the buildings. It's like an open
okay.
alleyway sort of thing.
All
And
right.
it looked like this. And off in the distance, you see a man who's currently moving children into what looks like a warehouse. And upon closer inspection, you recognize this man. One second. Come on. All right. Can you see another person on the screen right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's that
Mhm.
guy again. I knew that guy was no
He's-
good.
So, you see a man who appears to be forcing these children into this building. And the last one he's forcing in appears to actually be the little girl who has a wound across her face. So, what do you do?
I go striding toward him purposefully and say, "Hey! What's going on here?"
All right. He sort of turns around a little bit surprised. Oh, hello there. Oh, Robbie. Oh, excellent. I wasn't expecting to meet up with you so soon. Just 1 second. Let me just get this. All right, give me that. Come
What
on
the
now.
hell are you doing?
What do you mean?
What are you doing with those children? They clearly don't want to be with you.
Of course they don't. They're street urchins. But that hardly means that they get to stay out here after all the trouble they've been causing.
What exactly were they doing?
What were they doing? They were being parasites on society. Sitting out here, stealing, he looks over at Heath, from people who actually are providing some sustenance to our society as a whole. Now, if you'll just excuse me, my dear, I'll be right with you. I just need to get these in and
I'm
wait
gonna
for-
grab his sleeve as he tries to walk away
Okay, well, he's
punch him.
he's not next to you.
Oh, we're way at the other end. You're right. I see.
Yeah, you're not.
I thought we strode up though.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
you can
I'm
move.
moving
You
up
can
on
move
him,
closer. You can. Okay, how close do you want to move?
As close as I can.
I was.
All right. Well, you control your own tokens, so.
Wait, I seem to control somebody else's. No, wait, that's mine. Never mind. Oh, I was following.
And this appears to be the cart, by the way, that you're passing by.
I'm gonna grab his sleeve.
Oh, look. Let me just wait. Just wait, my dear. I'll speak to you in just a second. Once the buyers come by, they'll get rid of this trash, and then we can speak more openly.
You'll be dead before they get here if you don't let these kids go.
I'm sorry, but I believe you must be confused. What I'm doing is completely sanctioned by the these officials. This is completely within my right, and quite frankly, it's absolutely necessary. Robbie, my dear.
It's too bad
Robbie,
those officials aren't here to save you.
oh dear. Yes, too bad indeed. Anyways, Robbie, my dear, also, I had a most chance encounter with that certain repugnant woman, by the way, and I happened to get you some things. And he holds out some jewelry in his hand that very clearly came from her.
Yeah, we saw her back in the alley. I don't know what you think you're doing in the city tonight.
I can't tolerate rudeness, I'm afraid. And quite frankly, I was just wondering perhaps if you'd like to have this.
I don't want your dirty jewels. Wait, what do they look like?
They're relatively good quality. Altogether, they would say they cost about 80 enamel pieces.
I'll wait till he's dead.
Okay. All right. So, let me just get this last one. Get in there. And he goes to force the little girl inside. She sort of resists, and then he just backhands her.
All right,
I'm going to try and turn him around and punch him in the face.
Okay. Josiah, what'd you say?
I said I'm attacking.
Okay. Genji, you still want to go ahead with the try and pulling him around?
Yeah, if I see him backhand a kid, I'm going to try and, turn him and just smack him.
All right, you turn her around, and when you go to punch him, however, he dodges with extreme ease. And he says, oh dear, I was worried this might happen. Unfortunately, it seems so few have the stomach for this line of work. It's really not quite that bad, my dear. Not all the buyers are slavers, of course. Some of them just want the children for other means. I don't really ask too many questions on that. It's not really my interest what happens to them.
Well, it is fine.
And then he sort of looks at, he just looks at the little girl and he says, indeed, some of the buyers, though, have very peculiar taste. And he gets this very menacing look in his face. So are you going to go ahead and attack him, Josiah?
Yeah. I'm going to, I'm going to cast Elemental Weapon and make my Makawitla set on fire.
Well, before you do that, it's time to roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh, one sec. I have to clear the initiative thing from last time with the terrifyingly... There we go. Okay. So yes, roll initiative. And I will roll... Second... What is your... Oh... Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, right. I didn't... Okay, hold on. Did that send? It did. Okay.
Yep, and let me just get these. All right. Robbie, you start.
Oh, jeez. We haven't fought yet. I don't even know what I can do.
Well, I mean, if you look at your character sheet, your character's a rogue, so your character is relatively... Also, remember, you do have that iron dagger. So you might want to use that if you... Because that thing will be better than your bone daggers.
Oh, yeah, I had bone daggers. All right, I'll use the iron dagger for sure.
Okay, that'll give you a +1 to both your attack and your damage. Okay, so you want to try and attack him?
Yes.
Back off, do anything first, anything special, or just straight up attack?
I'm pretty angry. I think I'll just attack him. just
Oh.
go at him with my dagger.
Okay. Make your attack roll.
Hold on.
Oh, wait. I totally forgot. We need to get the proper music for this sort of situation.
Uh-oh.
In before Indian music or mariachi band.
Okay,
Oh,
so
God,
what
it is-
am I
it's-
attacking with?
It's this song.
Yep, there we go. Now we got the right music.
It should be +1. Is it +1 from what my bone dagger is? Oops.
Yeah, but unfortunately that attack missed. So he's in fact that is a critical miss, and that means
Oh my god.
now. Did you attack first with your? I'm going to say you attacked first with your iron dagger, in which case you don't have to worry. But if you had attacked with your bone dagger, there's a chance you could have broken it there. But if you attacked with your iron dagger first, you don't have to worry about the breaking.
But I missed horribly.
Okay. Ikari, your turn. So he just sort of dodges and he just looks at you and he wags his finger. Tut, tut, tut.
Alright, so I'm going to cast Elemental Weapon,
Okay.
which imbues my Great Makawitla with fire. That takes my action, so... And I'm just going to stay next to him and scowl at him. You're going to burn!
Again, and you three will never cease to amuse me. It's such a shame that it had to turn out like this. And he whips out two vicious-looking short swords, and he immediately goes for you, Bikari. So let's see what he manages to do here. Let me take a look at his attack.
What makes these short swords look so vicious?
They are jagged, very jagged. They look specifically like they are designed. It looks, quite frankly, like stuff you've seen, again, in the arena.
Ah, okay.
So, and he will attack you. So, let's do his first attack. All right.
He has to
First attack.
contend with my amazing 14 armor class.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know if he's gonna be able to overcome that. Oh shit! Okay. So first attack, he comes in to hit you, and it glances off of your scale armor, and he looks a little bit annoyed at that. But he then immediately launches into another attack. All right, this one unfortunately hits, unless there's something that you can do to prevent that.
I don't think so. Do I have something that I can prevent that?
I don't believe so, but let me take a quick look.
No,
Oh,
I don't.
music. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. All right. So he attacks, and he comes at you with these two short swords. There's one of them digging into the side of your arm, and the other digging right under one of the plates on your chest. And it does...
I'm already hurt too, from previous events of knocking myself out twice.
Oh, okay, minimum damage. He does 6 points of damage. And then he attacks you again!
What a dick.
I know, right? So he comes in again, and as he sees blood being drawn, he gets a sort of this smile across your face. Oh, do you want me to, Oh, right, have you not, changed your token for the... Okay, you should be at 42 hit points.
Oh, I should be at 36, actually.
Yeah, now you should be at 36. Alright, so he attacks you again.
What is that one in the blue circle?
Oh, that represents your channel divinity.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So this time though he misses again. Just having this large figure right next to him, it's sort of throwing him off balance. He's not used to individuals like yourself being right there next to him. And with that, Is there anything else he can do that's... Nope, doesn't look like there's anything else he can do. So he just sort of twirls the daggers in his hand and stands there and just sort of smiles. Again, he has this very gentlemanly smile on his face.
Oh, well, at least he's being gentlemanly about this.
I know, right? I mean, he even offered you... Robbie, he even offered you some jewelry. What a nice guy.
I'm planning on taking it from him.
What? Where is Spark? What do I see her doing?
She's on the ground.
Oh,
She's
she
on the ground. He backhanded her across the face, and she's lying on the ground.
Oh, I see. She's not really even awake then.
Yeah, basically. You can't tell if she's in a state of shock or she's just unconscious. And again, she does have that nasty gash across her face, so that kind of felt very good.
Right. Okay.
So, Heath, it's your turn.
So during this conversation, Behith's been standing back a little bit, just, letting her other two friends talk to him and such, while she's over there, just slowly more and more face palming and rubbing her temple, going, as things are getting more and more escalated, and she starts to mutter herself, like, just wanted to bring people here for a nice, relaxing festival, and her voice begins to amp up, going, and now I have to deal with these rotten, stinking murderers! And she's going to lock eyes with him, and she's going to shoot out some mind bullets.
Ooh, now we're getting serious.
Okay, roll that damage, or roll that attack, I should say.
And I believe I get 2 of those because I'm level 5.
Let me take...
Yeah, you do.
Yep.
Because
All right.
it's just Eldritch Blast, basically.
Okay, so you hit both of them. So roll damage, and to do that, all you need to do is just click on the name. Okay, that's one of them, and the other one?
One of those is a crit.
Yep. So that is a total of 10 damage. All right. So these bolts of energy fly out from you. It looks like there's disturbance in the air, almost like a heat haze that just sort of ricochets out and smashes right into him. And he just sort of is taken aback for a second. And then he looks up at you, and he gets a sort of knowing look in his face. Again, it seems like this sort of thing is familiar to him. He is strangely more comfortable with combat than you would have initially thought. And do you do anything else?
Yes, I'm going to smile back at him calmly and nicely as I'm inflicting these wounds. And I'm also going to spend a psi point and repeat that attack.
All right. Yeah, now we're getting into it. Okay, go ahead. And your blue bar, of course, is your psi points.
Okay.
All right, both of them hit again. So roll your damage for both of them. Okay, I don't know why it gave you a bonus here. They're showing me bonus.
I think maybe if there was if it was with advantage, then it would have hit that crit.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, so you do 8 damage, another 8 damage to him. And so again, it sort of strikes him, and that grin, it just doesn't change off his face. He seems to be weathering this unusually well. Okay. So do you do anything else?
That'll do it.
Okay. Robbie, it's your turn. You know, my dear, many relationships have issues. I'm sure we can still talk this out.
You think so?
Trust me, this would not be the worst relationship I've had to talk into a better state.
Oh, I bet.
Whatever you want your last words to be, you'd better get them out now.
Clearly you're picking well.
All right.
I'm gonna go at him with my dagger again, I guess.
Okay, just a straight up attack?
I don't know. I don't really know what else I can do. I'm looking at my
You could
ability.
disengage and try and get around him, but
Okay.
there are some crates in the way there, so that will count as difficult terrain.
She should get sneak
Can I-
attack because I'm engaged with him, right?
Oh, I guess he
But
wasn't.
As a
it's
rogue?
sort of both from the front of him.
I can climb faster though, can't
Yeah,
I?
look,
Can I not just
Yeah,
get up on the...
you can because of your bet. I'm just trying to think here. So I thought that she had to be like behind him or something.
It says for sneak attack, you don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it and is not incapacitated.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Then go ahead. Attack. You can attack him with We can attack with sneak attack and add
Ooh.
sneak attack damage to it.
Because he's kind of just like distracted by the fact that he has to defend himself against me too, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, he was kind of talking to me, but... well. How do I work this?
Well, again, you just need to click on your weapon.
Well, that doesn't help.
No, that'll be added afterwards, provided you hit.
Oh, it'll happen. I don't actually have the iron dagger in my... Oh.
Wow,
Okay.
25.
Okay, so yeah, you definitely hit with the iron dagger. So you can just click on that bone dagger, and I'm assuming that you're going to attack with both of them because since you're dual wielding, you can actually attack with your the dagger in your offhand, albeit it doesn't come with bonuses. All right, so that would be 7, so that's 9 plus your sneak attack damage.
Which is?
Let's see what damage points. No, unfortunately that's just your trait. It won't actually give you your sneak attack damage. Will be 1 second. Same pull this up.
3d6.
Yep, it would be a 3d6.
Eh.
Oh no, 3d6. But,
I know.
Yeah.
I
So
just
that's
clicked on it accidentally.
18. So that's a total. That right there is a total of 27. Good job. So
Wow.
yeah. So you come out here and you just, with the flurry, you strike once, opening a gash on his neck, and again once in the hip. And he sort of just looks at you with this sort of look of shock, and then he again gets a sort of smile on his face. It's weird. He's seeming to view this more as a sort of game almost.
You're a psychopath.
Well, all right. Let's not use names here.
Why are you smiling?
Okay. So, do you want to do anything else?
No.
Okay. Hikari, it's your turn.
All right. Are Beheath or Ravi hurt at all?
No, they're totally fine. They haven't been running into pillars or causing damage themselves that way.
Headbutting anything.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna attack him with my flaming Makawitla.
Okay.
Now, first of all, how does attacks of opportunity work in 5th edition? Do you get one for moving away from the person, or even if you move like next to them, around them, you still get an attack of opportunity?
Oh man, I've been doing a 4th edition for the last while, so I'm actually not certain. Let me take a look. Okay. Come on. Okay, so if you leave its reach during your move, you would provoke an opportunity attack. Moves out of your reach. Yeah, I don't think that it will provoke it if you stay within the reach, though.
Alright, cool. Good to know. In that case, I'm going to move around behind him. So I'm flanking him with Ravi, but staying within his reach.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hit him. So do I get advantage for that?
Yes, you do. He's still taken a bit aback by Robbie's attack, so you have advantage on this one.
Alright. I say, there's a lot of evil in this world, and most of it I can tolerate. But enslaving children, that I will not stand for. You have earned yourself a fiery death this day. And I raise the burning weapon up over my head with both hands and just bring it down in a mighty slash with a roar of defiance and rage.
Okay, make your attack.
Okay, let's see. I get a +1 on this from the spell on top of my regular, so this is with advantage. Ooh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
It's only a 12.
Yeah. There's no way to salvage that one, I'm afraid. So it completely whiffs by him, and he just sort of looks at you after you did that whole speech, and just sort of cocks his eyebrow. Well,
Count your luck while you can. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cast, as a bonus action, Mass Healing Word.
okay.
And I'm going to target myself with it, as well as Spark, and if there's any other kids that look injured over there, they can be caught in it as well.
Okay, go ahead.
So that'll do 6 points of healing to me
All right.
and her and any other hurt kids. Well, there's
All
a
right,
limit to how many of them, but, you know, whatever.
Well, no, it doesn't seem like anyone. I mean, if there was, you don't know. But looking across the little girl who you've named Spark's face, you notice that the wound that was done across is sort of knitting up, and she's starting to sort of get herself back up, though still rather unsteady. So is that it?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, it is time for Tunok's turn. So, Tunok is seeing this, and he's a little bit surprised again at how this is going, and he is going, and at this point, no, he won't do it yet, but what he is going to do is he is going to move as so, right here, and he does not provoke an opportunity attack from you, Robbie. And he is going to attack Bikari again. Fun times.
Well,
Okay. All right. So again, then these daggers come out flashing. You try and bat them away with your Makawi. Oh god, I always mess up the pronunciation of that. But unfortunately, he's able to get him right around it, and that does 11 points of damage.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm. All right, and now he's going to attack again. All right, 15. Does that hit you?
Yep.
Oh, crap. Okay. Already still stinging from the attack. You're sort of reeling back a bit, but he just keeps pressing forward and does another 11 points of damage.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Ugh. It doesn't even hurt. I've been injured worse than that in training.
Yes, I've heard that one as well. And he then lunges at you again to attack for a third time. Okay, well. Again, blades find purchase as they go past your defenses and deal 10 points of damage.
Okay. I'm down to 10 hit points. He's winning.
So he sort of smirks at you. He says, "Oh, don't worry. It'll all be over quite soon." And it's your turn, Beheath.
All right. Seeing this, I'm going to again give the stare of death and repeat with a 4 mind bullets.
All right. Let's do it. Okay, well, the first one misses. The second one hits, so roll your damage. And the third one misses, and... Alright, so 3 points of damage.
Wow,
Woo.
those
Woo-hoo.
damage rolls on a D10.
Big.
Yep, okay. Oh man, I don't know if I can calculate. Okay. Alright, so again, these bursts that look like shimmers in your hit him, but this time they barely seem to hurt him at all. Oh, he just sort of gives you a sort of glance, but then he turns right back towards Bikari, grinning wolfishly. And it's your turn, Robbie. Can you help Bikari?
I don't know.
1 second. Where is Spark located on this map?
She is right there.
Okay. Before my move ends, I would like to get right up in his face.
Okay.
Actually, I suppose there. Sort of press in on him and just make a fearsome face me in an attempt to get his attention and to draw him away from my companion there, who's getting pretty badly injured.
All right. And again, he
It's
sort
a
of...
taunt.
Yeah, like an intimidation thing.
All right. He sort of looks at you. He hasn't turned around yet, but you notice that he's pivoting his foot now. So whether or not he's going to attack you or if he's just going to keep going after Bikari, you're not sure.
Okay.
Robbie, it's your turn.
Provoking moo.
Nice.
If he's turning his foot, I'm gonna try and maybe move up here. I think I can get that.
Yep, you can get there.
And do another sneak attack with the dagger.
Okay, go ahead. Roll that.
I'm going to... He obviously doesn't notice me because I'm being sneaky. But as I attack, I'm going to sort of whisper creepily in his ear.
Of course you are.
Obviously.
Whispering creepily, specifically creepily.
Specifically creepily.
Hashtag specifically
Hey,
creepily.
I'm over here. You wanted me? Come get me.
Okay. And you're attacking?
Yes.
All right, make that attack roll. All right, that hits. So make a damage roll.
Good job.
And then I get one more, right?
So that's 9, 8, right, 10. And now roll 3d6. And so that's, oh wow, 15. So you got down a total of 24 damage.
You are putting out the sick damage,
Yeah,
both of you, actually. I'm just doing nothing.
So you strike back into his back just as you're whispering this into him, and he howls in pain this time. Now you're clearly starting to make a dent in him, and he's starting to get this look on his face of a bit of anxiety now. I said we talk later. All right, Bikari. Or unless you have something else you want to do, Jen. Oh, though you did use your bonus action, so you don't really have anything else you can do.
Yeah.
So, Bikari.
Okay, first thing, bonus action. Healing word myself, cast at 2nd level.
All right, let's do it.
So I call out, burn! And I let the flames rise within me and sear my wounds closed.
Oh shit, trying to out edgelord Jen here.
So that's 9.
Okay.
And then with my regular action, with my flanking, I'm gonna spit some blood, because I assume I have blood in my mouth after being hit so many times. I'm gonna just spit a glob of blood right on him. If he's still facing me, I'll try to spit it in his face, or just spit it on his clothes. It doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to spit blood on him because I'm a dick. And as I do that, I follow up with a mighty swing of the burning Macahuitla.
Okay. Yeah, he's still looking at you, and so that glob actually it hits him right in the face. So go make that damage. Or attack, rather.
That's better.
Yes, that is indeed better. But does that hit? No, this one does hit. Okay. So you come down, you sort of feint to one side, and he sort of prepares to go to protect against it. But then you immediately sweep it back over and rake across him. So roll damage.
Wait, how do I roll the damage?
You click on the name of the weapon that's in that attack roll.
Oh, that's in the attack roll.
Right in the, yeah.
All right, that's 8 plus 1 for your burning weapon, right?
Actually, it's a D4 extra fire damage, so I have to roll that separately.
Okay.
So it's a total of 11.
All right. So as you do this sword, which is just imbued with the power of fire, rakes across his chest, and again he just sort of howls in pain. Although at the same time he also looks very off-put by the blood you spit in his face. I mean that was a bit uncalled for.
And I just grin at him
All right.
the same. And I just grin at him the same way that he was grinning when he was getting hit.
Okay. So he sort of pulled himself back a bit from his blow, and his head down, and then he just sort of he turns his head back up at you, and again he's got this smile, and it's becoming this more maddened look in his eyes. And it's a look actually you feel like you've seen a lot before. And he goes right after you again. Oh, but first, he darts over here, and he does not provoke an opportunity attack from Jen, but Heath, you can take an opportunity attack against him.
Okay, we'll definitely do so.
All right.
And I'm going to use my double-tipped spear for this.
All right.
Or is it an opportunity attack?
Unfortunately, he deftly dodges out of the way as he's moving over, and you are unable to hit him. All right. Now let's see if he's able to hit Mikari with his amazing armor class. Yeah.
Somehow he managed to pull off that incredible feat.
Yes, he did. Okay. So he goes right past your clumsy attempts to block away his hit, and he does 11 points of damage. He really likes that number for some reason.
Okay. Down to 8. He could kill him.
Okay. And this is going to shock you, but he's going to attack you again, I'm afraid.
I couldn't possibly have imagined such a thing.
But this time, your armor class is higher than that, right?
My armor class is 14.
Wait, I forget. Does that mean a hit or miss?
That means a hit.
Oh, okay. Oh, no. Okay. Well, again, this time he attacks you. You feel like your armor is going to block this particular attack, but it sort of slips right under the scales. And this one does 14 points of damage.
Well, I'm at -6.
Okay.
I drop.
All right. Mikari, unfortunately, is down. And so he's standing there over the now unconscious body of Mikari. And then he just sort of turns to look at you two, and he's got this grin in his face, just this wicked, cruel grin. Ladies, I know we missed the dance competition, but I was hoping you might have one last one with me.
Actually, wait a minute. There's a mule thing that applies here.
Oh,
A
okay.
racial ability.
All right, what is it?
I don't know. Hold on. I'm trying to get to it.
What would that be? endurance, maybe?
Relentless endurance.
Yes.
Instead of dropping to 0 hit points, I drop to 1 hit point instead.
Okay.
So I just shrug it off.
All right, I'm going to say that because this is sort of just this strength drawn from within you, like the answer that's also within you the entire time, he still thinks that he's taking you down. He doesn't realize that you're just sort of hanging on there, and are really you've just taken me, sort of. So he doesn't notice that. He's still turning towards them.
Okay.
And that's right, in 5e you can break up your movement, can't you? It's not like 4e where for some reason you move and then you can never move again during your turn. So he's going to go right back towards them. And this time he's going to go right over here. Okay. And that will finish his turn. Heath, it's your turn.
I'm going to beckon him over with the tip of my spear as he comes on by, and kind of open my arms wide before spinning around and just stabbing at him with double-tipped spear.
All right, make that attack.
Now, being a double-tipped spear I believe that's a double attack.
The way it attacks, in this one it works, is that the double-tipped spear, it doesn't count as a double attack. Rather, if you hit, you can use your bonus attack, or is it that it uses as a two-handed weapon? I'm trying to remember what for the double-tipped spear.
I tried reading about it, and it was very confusing.
But either way, unfortunately, he actually is able to prevent your hit. Now, it looks like it's going to hit him. It's arm square on, but he just sort of parries with his two swords upwards and just redirects it past his shoulder. So you miss, unfortunately.
I'll look at him darkly and go, "Come at me, you swine!" And I'll end my turn.
Okay, careful. Remember the last time you did that? That was with the blood demon, and it went right past you.
That's very true.
Okay, Robbie, you've just watched Bikari get very badly maimed, and you see this guy. You can tell, though, he is pretty badly wounded by this point. So, if you do this right, you could take him out.
Is he focusing on the other one?
Right now, he's focused on Heath. He seems to be, for lack of a better term, saving you for later.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I suppose I will move in behind him. I don't know.
All right, go ahead.
In fact, I will sort of spin around him. He wanted to dance.
Yes, putting that dancing technique to work. Yeah, that's what won you the chariot right there.
That's right.
Okay, and you're attacking, I assume?
And I'm attacking.
All right.
And saying you wanted to dance. Let's dance.
All right. Roll the attack. Okay, and this one was it's with advantage, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, if he's focusing on
Yeah.
the other person.
Okay,
yes.
so yeah, you hit. Roll damage.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 13. Oh, sorry, 14 plus your sneak attack damage. Okay, nice, 26. All right, and so you spin by him, and as you do so, you put the blades out, and you're sort of spinning while striking at him, and you leave these gashes alongside of him, and he is now looking really badly wounded. He is not having a good time of this. He just sort of goes, I'm not done quite yet.
Didn't you and me see this? Didn't you see me win that competition? You can't dance with me. You're nowhere near my league.
All right. Bikari, you're still up. What do you want to do?
All right, once again, I will shout out, "Blaze within me!" And it'll be another bonus action healing word cast at 2nd level on myself.
Right, go ahead.
Okay. I heal myself for 12.
Okay, nice.
And then I'm going to move and kind of come up behind him right next to Ravi.
All right.
And as I swing my weapon down at the base of his skull, I yell out, "Surprise, motherfucker!"
Nice.
Yes. Okay, go ahead. Oh, it's great.
Oh, shit.
Oh no! Oh, that I think that. Sick. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does deserve that.
Okay, so you do this, and he is shocked that you are still up. He was not expecting you to still be around that after that. And you again swing down with this rage, and the surprise that he felt at seeing you alive is only second to the surprise that you managed to miss for a second time, landing the blade right beside him, doing no damage.
I think this is the third time I've missed him.
Yeah, this is not going great.
I'm a missing champion, yeah.
Oh, God.
Would you classify him as a water being?
No, I wouldn't classify him as that. I classify him more as like an archer on top of a roof.
Ah, right. I see what you did there.
Okay, well, it's Tunok's turn. So, looking around, he can see that things are clearly not going well for him, but he keeps on fighting. Again, this is something that it almost seems second nature to him, as if he's been trained to do specifically this. And so, let me see, is he gonna move? No, you know what? He's not even gonna move at this point. He is just going to go right at the card. But first, before he does that, you notice that he does something with those knives. He flicks a little vial on his wrist, and as he flicks the blades down, coats them with it.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right. You know, actually, though, he's not going to type a card because at this point, he doesn't really view you as the biggest threat because you have missed him 3 times. So honestly, So instead, he's going to continue his attack on Bahee. Let's see how he does.
I know what I'm going to do next time if he's still up.
All right, first attack comes in, but you, using the power of your mind, are able to deflect the blades away. Second attack.
Oh.
Oh no! I don't know. I mean,
Womp 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 womp.
Yeah.
Critical hit. Doing like that shit. Baby, that's what you get. Another critical hit. Trying to do like a different cover of it.
No, yeah, I hear it. You really put your own spin on it.
Okay. Alright. Oh no, this is not going to be good. Okay. Oh man. Okay, so he does 20 points of damage to you.
That's a lot.
And that's
Okay.
that's not all. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh,
Do you have a point of inspiration by any chance?
I do.
You might want to use that.
I seem to have been inspired by a voice in my head that will authorize me to do that.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say that your second roll there, that's going to be it. So, okay. You feel something begin to course your hand, but you're able to fight it off using the power of your mind. Using the strength of the answer inside of you. Again, it's very important you remember that. All right. So, but the thing is that he's still not done, and he's going to make another attack.
This guy's pretty rude.
Yeah, he is. All right, 16. What is your armor class?
Mine is exactly 16.
So he hits, unfortunately. Oh boy. Okay, 1, 2. But hey, look on the bright side. It's not a crit this time. Not a crit. And does 13 points of damage. And again, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, shit.
Oh boy. Okay. So this time you feel something pouring through your veins, and it burns like fire. It is horrible. It is a wrenching feeling that moves through you, and it. Oh shit! This is. Oh god, this is a lot of damage. Okay, and it does a total of. Wait. You know what? No, screw it. I'm gonna roll for this because I'm gonna see if it ends up lower than what this is. And it does a total of 11 points of damage. And you are now poisoned.
What does that do?
Poisoned for that one does. It has disadvantage on attack rolls.
Oh, that sucks.
Ooh.
Yeah. But hey, he is very close to death still. Granted, he's been kind of a badass, but so, and that's it. He's basically done at this point. But Heath, it's your turn.
So, how tall are the buildings around me?
Let's see. The ones that are off to your left, those ones are about 20 feet, whereas this large dome structure, that one's closer to 40. If you're going to skywrite, I need to know this right now so I can prepare.
I don't think I have the ability to skywrite.
You do have minor illusion, though, which could...
Yeah, although I think that only works up to 30 feet.
Yeah, true.
But I will go ahead and disengage, and I'm just going to levitate up on top of the steeple over here.
All right. And
Nice.
And I'm going to look down on him and go, oh, you tried to strike me down, but I spell your doom! And I'm going to attack with 4 Eldritch Blasts once again.
all right. Can you do it? Can you finally kill him?
I think disengage takes your action, though, doesn't it?
Oh, wait.
I spent a psi point for that. That's Step of the
Oh,
Wind.
yeah, you got special shit.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Good job, man.
Mm-hmm.
Scion is a good class.
It is really good.
Okay. So 2 of those do hit, but the other 2 do not. So roll damage. 11. Well, again, these blasts of energy hit him, but he's still standing. He is... You can't believe that he is still standing. He looks like he should, by all rights, be on the ground. But somehow, he's managed to just keep standing. And he just is watching you. That grin that still won't leave his face. Robbie, can you take that grin off his face?
No, I hope that he dies. He dies with it frozen there. I'm betting he will. I mean, what I've been doing has been working.
It's true, you have been doing a grip of damage.
I'm getting pretty annoyed. I think I was one of these kids that grew up on the streets.
Okay. All right.
So I'm real mad at what he's doing. This is one of the things that can actually make me want to get out there and deal it some justice.
All right.
So I'm gonna step. Well, I think I'm already his side or behind or whatever. So
Yeah, I mean, you can move if you want it. I mean, it might not even be a bad idea because, again, positioning can help, but you will have attack, and honestly, he's really close to death, or at least defeat.
Stabbed.
Yeah, okay, now you get the right song. Critical hit, how you like that shit? Baby, that's what you get. Another critical hit.
Wow. It's the ballad version.
It's amazing.
I do the power
Awesome.
ballad version. You're welcome. Oh god, my throat's gonna hate me tomorrow. Okay. All right. Yeah.
He's got it.
You go at him, and it's almost too easy. He's still looking up there, and as you strike the blade, one of them goes right into the side of his neck, and he just sort of looks at you. And there's a smile. It's almost like he was glad it was you who did it, as he falls to the ground, bleeding out. Congratulations, you have defeated Tunok. All right. Let me put on some more appropriate music now. So, so you've got this bleeding person on the ground here. What do you want to do? There's the children who are now locked up in the warehouse.
I'm gonna walk over to Spark and hold out one of my bone darts to her and say, "Do you want to finish him off yourself? He might have a little bit of life left in him."
So little girl, she's gonna look up at you, and she's gonna sort of look at him, and just she'll take the dagger. I mean, not the dagger, the bone dart, and she immediately goes and takes a throw at him, but misses, and shrugs and goes, "Better at killing gnomes, I guess." Can I have another?
That's not a bad thing to be. Yeah, well, you could just go stab him with it. He's just laying there.
Fair enough. And so she's going up to him, but he begins to sort of groan, and that sort of freaks her out a bit, and so she steps back. That not bad. I have to admit, I wasn't expecting that. And he sort of turns on his back, and Hikari, you notice something now about him that you have not noticed until this point. On his wrist, there is the mark of a chain with a large X drawn through it. A mark that you have the exact same of on the inside of your arm.
What does it mean?
It means that he used to be a gladiator who was purchased. Surprised? Surprised? We all come from someone else, don't we?
I don't care where you come from. I only care where you're going. I'm gonna walk over and try to smash him in the head.
Go ahead. This is how it was supposed to be. You know, I fought for so many years in that damned arena, and when I was freed, do you know who it was by?
What?
The woman who I would marry. I know. It was wonderful. And then I was bought as one of several she saved. She always was so caring. And then you know what happened to her? She was killed, mugged by street urchins. Isn't it amusing?
No.
She saved us. She saved me. And in return, she was killed by scum like her. And he narrows his eyes at the little girl. His whole joke. Do you hear them, brother? Do you hear the audience clapping? And he just sort of sighs and falls to the ground, dead.
I'm gonna smash him in the head anyway, just to make sure.
Okay. Well, you bash open this man's head, and blood just sort of sprays everywhere. A little bit gets
I'm taking those jewels.
A little bit gets onto the little girl, actually. But she doesn't look too fazed by that. It's not a big deal to her. And so she sort of just walks up. In fact, she even just walks up to him and then just spits right onto his corpse.
Feels good,
So-
doesn't it? You all right? I'm talking to the girl.
Fine. What about you? You look a little worse for wear.
I've hurt myself worse than this. Well, I was gonna say shaving, but I don't have to shave. I'm a mule. I'm hairless. But if I had shaved, I would have hurt myself worse than this. Beheath, come down here. You look like you need to be treated. I can help you.
Yes, yes, I think you're right. And I'm going to look and think of acrobatically leaping down, shake my head, and just levitate myself on down, sort of glide
Okay.
So does
on down.
the girl still look hurt at all?
No, her wound is healed over, though there's a scar. She then sort of goes, so should we free the others?
Of course.
Hold on a sec. I'm taking those jewels and looking on his body for other stuff.
All right. Basically, he has those daggers on him. He has a few vials of that liquid they put on, as well as the remaining bottles of thornleaf tea.
I'm gonna give those back to the girl.
Fucking
Okay.
tea thief. That's the worst.
I know, right?
She gave me one, so
All right. And she goes, "Thank you. You were quite impressive out there. Sorry I tried to rob your friend, but in my defense, she was an easy mark."
she was. Yeah, you gotta make a living, right?
Okay. All right. So, yeah, it looks like everything's looking up here. So, do you want to try and free the children?
First, I cast a Cure Wounds on Beheath.
Okay.
16 points back, Nox.
Thank you.
All right. All right. And do you want to heal yourself before?
Oh, yeah, I probably should. Jen's probably like, we could sell these kids now.
Well, hey, you know what? This is Dark Sun, so it is always an option. Just like how licking things is always an option, you can always sell the children.
I wanna go check out that cart.
All right, the cart just has some empty bottles of thornleaf tea that the little girl tells you that she had been the one who had emptied them, figuring that someone would follow the trail.
Smart kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's another 11 for Nox,
Okay.
and 7 more for me, and now that's it. I'm out of spells.
All right. So, at this point, so is the music not freaking playing?
I think I hear it really quietly.
Yeah, same.
I hear it. I turned it
Okay.
up a little bit on my Roll20.
Oh, right.
Remember,
Okay.
everybody has their own volume control for it.
Right. Okay. So, now do you want to free, or do you just want to leave? Again, it's a totally viable option.
I would say Beheath would go on over to the door and open and such and say, "Oh, okay, you lot, get out of here. And don't take my coin purse this time."
All right. They rush out past you. There's a number of children. There's most of them are human. Again, they all look like street urchins. There's even one that's a thri-kreen that runs past you. You do have to sort of bat off a couple of attempts to steal your coin purse, though.
Try it and I'll slap you silly.
Okay. So now, man, now I thought I was
I'm gonna grab her coin purse.
I'm actually going to. I'm gonna
Just be
take.
jerk.
I'm gonna take 48 bits and just scatter them on the ground. And
Okay.
say,
And
there.
almost as soon as they've landed, they're gone. They were immediately grabbed up by these children who are now running in every direction.
Okay, cool.
As you stand here with this dead body that you have bashed in the head of the corpse of.
Yeah, and I would have bashed it like 2 or 3 times, enough to actually like break the skull open and make sure crush the brain.
Okay. Yeah, there you can't even tell that his head is basically, it looks like spaghetti. It's not nice. It's a bad sight. And I can hear the echo of my voice in someone's mic.
Oh wait, talk again.
Hello?
None of our mics are cute, so that's not possible.
Yeah.
I was hearing it from someone though. I'm not.
Do you have my stream on too, or not? That would be really confusing.
No.
Probably if you do.
No, my stream's not on.
I'm hearing it too. It might be in the game. It's me. Hold on.
I'm not hearing it. Oh, I have it turned off in Roll20. Like, if you go to the
I have it up too, so that's probably
where it says in the settings, I want to broadcast to others, I want to receive from others, because it gets confusing if you have those on and then you're hearing people through Roll20 and hearing them through Discord or whatever.
okay. All right, just let me know when you're set up on that.
I wanna like carve something. I wanna rip this guy's clothes off, not all of his clothes, just like his torso clothes, and like carve the fate of slavers into his chest.
Well, before you go full psychopath, though, you do hear something in the distance, getting louder. It is the sound of footsteps, and not tiny footsteps, but large, loud ones.
Probably the po-po.
So, what do you want to try and do now?
Which way are they coming from?
It seems like they're coming from all over.
Well, if there's a direction, is there any direction they're not coming from?
You can't really tell. It again, this area, the acoustics of it make it sound like they're coming from everywhere.
I guess I'm going to try and move in some sort of shadows by the building.
Anyone else want to try anything?
Let's see if I can get into one of these buildings, like this one right next to us.
Okay. You go and you begin trying to open the door, but the door is locked. And before you can try anything else, the square is filled with Templars. And not just like the little scraggly-ass Templars who are guarding the matchboard. These guys are very heavily armed in armor. They have metal weapons and armor. And they are looking none too happy right now.
Not the scraggly ass ones, okay.
That's the worst kind of Templar.
Well, I don't think we're going to be able to avoid... like, we're not going to... Well, maybe we can Nox bluff them.
Okay, well, do you want to try and Nox bluff them?
I'll say, but Heath, tell them we didn't do this.
I'm going to smile at Bakari and go, do you really want me to try this?
No, I don't care. I'm ready to face my fate.
Try it.
I'm already beginning to cast guidance on myself and hype myself up for this, as well as cast a minor illusion of a Templar badge, my old Templar badge, on my chest.
Okay.
And I'm just going to proudly lift my head with my spear and order these two, my friends, come with me. You're going to the magistrate. And I'm going to start marching back toward the square.
All right. Roll persuasion. Or deception, I should say.
Can he get advantage because he used to be a Templar?
Except he's not been a Templar for some time. Plus, these guys are not dressed at all like you. All right.
Did pretty good.
Yeah, he did pretty good. So they are looking around and they're not quite certain what to do here because you look very official, but you are clearly not one of the Templars of their city. And there's some murmuring going around, and for a second you think you might see a chance to escape. But just before you can even act, a heaviness falls through all of your forms, and a voice in the back of your mind begins, without even making words, speaking to you in a way that fills you with dread as each of you fall unconscious and the world goes to black.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. All right. And don't mind this music change. It in no way suggests something bad is about to happen. All right.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we're good.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you're unconscious. All right. So, you don't know how long you're out for. And in fact, you feel this profound sense of just being completely separated, almost as if you're drifting in water. Even though most people, I guess, wouldn't. To us, it would feel like drifting in water. To them, I don't know. They don't really have a good equivalent of it. Anyways, as your consciousness slowly resurfaces from this oblivion, you read with this darkened room, your vision washed down, trailing, a dull ringing in your ears, and a thrumming sensation from beneath your feet. You look around it surely, and you see that each of you has been seated in a plain stone seat. But beyond that, you can't really make out any of the features of the room. Even in your sort of clouded state, you can see that the light in this room behaves abnormally, acting less like it was illuminating the shadows than being consumed by them. Around your legs, you feel a sickly breeze, clammy and inconstant. The air around you smells like smoke of a recently doused fire, and there's this taste of copper that in each breath you take. And as lucidity slowly returns to you, you can notice two figures that are in the corners of this gloaming dark. And as the ringing in your ears start to fade, you begin to realize the figures are speaking to one another. Find them. I remain unconvinced of the necessity of this. Now that regardless of its necessity, the terms are clear. Besides, the promise of this is so much greater than our current enterprise. And is that what he told you? Figure further in the shadows sort of lifts his arm and gestures across the dim field of light. The other figure turning his head to look. And peering closely, even though you're still in sort of haze, you realize there's a third figure standing in the room, but you can't really make out any details of him. Do any of you do anything? At this point, there's not a whole lot you can do, but...
I desperately check to see whether or not I have my towel.
You do not. You have
Okay.
none of your weapons. Your towel's gone, I'm afraid.
Darth Vader, no.
Okay. It fits for this one. There we go. So, anyways, so this one figure, the one that you heard first, is talking again. Enough. We gain no benefit in discussing this further right now, and besides... He then turns to look at the three of you. Light is reflecting off his eyes like the sickly yellow. Our guests have awakened. The other figure immediately turns its head to you in a sharp motion. The other figure, the one that's further in the darkness, you can't really, it doesn't look like it's moved, but you're unsure if that means that it's been watching you this whole time or if it just doesn't care. And then the nearest figure, the one that was talking, begins walking towards you slowly, yet purposefully. My apologies for the abrupt departure from the festivities, but you see, I'm afraid there is a schedule to keep, and I would be loath to have you miss this final event. And the figure steps into light, and he looks a little like this. Everyone see him?
Oh yeah, that dude's fucking
Yes.
benevolent.
All right. So, as he moves into this weird light that doesn't even seem to have a source, it's this tall, stern man with a sharp goatee and graying hair. He's dressed of this robe that's of these dark, subdued hues, which are trimmed with silver, not just some imitation, actual silver. And the bottom of him is being buffeted by this weird breeze that doesn't even seem to make a sound. And his expression and features are just of this brooding menace, but he continues to smile at you, not like Tunok, not a maddened smile, but just a smile of pure malevolence. So, you all are now slowly becoming a bit more lucid, though you feel like you can't move your arms or legs or bodies, quite frankly. You basically have control over your head. Do any of you do anything?
Yeah, Bakari is like desperately struggling to move. He's like straining whatever muscles he can to try to regain control of his body. He's very frustrated.
Yeah, it's just doing nothing. It's almost like the life in your body has just been sort of not sucked out, but subdued. You can't seem to move no matter what you do.
What did you do to us?
Nothing you need to be concerned about. Anyone else say anything?
If you let us go, there'll be great rewards for you.
Oh, I think you'll find that I'm in no need of such rewards, but you, well, that actually is quite to the point. See, onto the matter at hand. You, lucky three, have the honor of participating in this most exciting and rewarding of events. Indeed, the prize for participating in this most simple of games, well, it is beyond your comprehension. And as he says this, he lifts his hand, producing a golden circlet that's inlaid with a large ruby and flanked by sapphires. Now, none of you are an expert, except Robbie sort of has some experience with this, but all of you can tell this thing is easily worth thousands of enamel pieces. Another thing is that as he's speaking, the darkness in front of you is beginning to recede, revealing a small stone slab right in front of you, like a table, about 5 by 2 feet in dimension for your legs. And there's a faint sound in the darkness, almost like it's being smothered like the light was. And it's coming from just beyond the slab. Any of you say anything?
What is the meaning of all of this?
The meaning, as I said, one final game. You all have had quite a bit of fun at the festivities, I suppose. This last one is very exclusive, just for you. We've been looking a long time for just the right candidates. But I have gone ahead of myself. Allow me first to introduce the other contestants. And as the darkness recedes further, you realize there's 3 other figures across from you, sitting in stone chairs like your own. As their silhouettes become visible, you realize they seem familiar, with one massive figure, one small figure, another that appears horned. A sick feeling wraps itself around the pit of your stomach, tightening violently as you hear a plaintive I believe you're already acquainted. And in front of you, each bound to the stone chairs with thick rope and displaying the results of varying amounts of physical abuse, are Haka, the little girl, and Tashin. Haka sits across from Bakari, the little girl from Rabi, and Tashin from Behith.
Wait,
Do you
who's
see
Tasheen
anything?
again?
Tasheen was the tiefling owner of the lounge, the one who had been a slave
Oh,
previously.
right, okay.
So, anyone say anything?
I say, I'll do what you want, but let the others go.
I think I'd rather sit this one out. I don't need to play. I'm good.
I'm afraid that this is not a competition you can simply walk away from. And I'm afraid that all of you are needed for this one. You see, I so love bringing friends together, especially for as memorable an occasion as this. And indeed, for an event such as this, well, it is required. But speaking of requirements yet, I haven't told you the rules yet, have I? Well, as I have said, the rules are ever so simple. For these three, they need but remain still. And one sec, just actually going to... Oop. Oh, wait. Is that actually... Oh, yeah, there we go. Oop. Oop. Okay. They need but remain still. And he waves his hand, gesturing to these other three. And the little girl, she's just glaring at this guy as Haka and Tashima are just sort of wincing, cowering as the hand passes over them. And then he turns back to you three. And as for you, all you need do is take this dagger, and in his hand you realize, you didn't even notice him do this, but the circle is gone. Instead, there's an ornate dagger with a golden hilt and a ruby pommel. And plunge its blade into their heart. The other three are now looking terrified as he says this. What do you say?
Okay. Release your hold on me and give me the dagger.
There we are. I knew we could reach an understanding with this. He smiles. And remember, as long as you follow these simple rules, you'll be rewarded with power, wealth, and pleasure of a kind you would dare not dream. Though, I'm afraid failure to follow these rules will result in both parties meeting a most painful and gruesome death. Now, since I imagine you are no stranger to games of this nature, Mole, why don't we have you begin? Just take this dagger and shove it into that half-wit's chest, and you will never know what again. And he pushes it into your hand, Mikari, as you begin to feel energy flooding back into your limb. As this is happening, you can see Haka. He's still trying to pull around, and you realize that he's sort of motioning for one of his bindings. Now, you remember this from the competition, the pillar ramming competition, although you don't remember much else, given that you knocked yourself unconscious on that one, but you know that Haka is freaking strong. He was insanely strong, in fact. And you're pretty confident that if you could just get one of those bindings off, he could get rid of the others himself.
But wait, does it look like they're only bound by ropes and they're not, like, magically held like we were?
They're only bound by ropes for some reason. They don't, unlike you guys, there's no magic that seems to be binding them. Or whatever force this is.
Alright, so I'll get up and I'll kind of start stretching out and
You're not even able to get up, though. You are basically glued to that seat. You're able to move your waist, and you can definitely reach Haka from your position to stab him if you so choose, or perhaps something else.
Oh, I didn't realize they were that close.
Yeah.
So their seats are, like, right in front of our seats.
Mm-hmm. There's just this little 2-foot space in between you with this weird stone, whatever it is. So, again, Haka, despite the fact that you don't know him to be, maybe the most clever of individuals, he does seem to also be sort of looking down at this binding.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to swiftly cut his rope, and then if I manage to cut through it, then I'll just fling the dagger at the guy's face.
Okay. Then I'm going to need you to make. Let's see here. I'm going to need you to do a. Let's just call it even. Say make a dexterity check.
I'm good at that.
I would also like to telepathically link with Haka and give him some encouraging moves.
You can't. There seems to
Ooh.
be some complete barrier that's just preventing you from doing so. Oh, damn, that is pretty good. Okay. So, you sort of position the dagger like you're about to stab him right in the chest. Instead, the blade goes right up and flashes across Haka's body. Haka's hand lifts up, and then almost as quickly is slammed back down by some unseen force as you look down and realize that this man, with a speed that you didn't even see him, has gripped your wrist and is holding them painfully strong, a strength that you would not have imagined this man could possess. And he then just sort of shakes his head and chuckles dryly. He steps closer and rests his other hand on your arm, just below the elbow. You know, it's like a pitying gesture almost. Now, you see, that is breaking the rules. And when I told you to stab that imbecile in his heart, I fucking meant it! And there's a flash of crimson before your eyes. And you see Bakari splattered in blood, terror gripping his face as he begins crying and struggling harder still. Confused, you look up at the man and you realize he's holding something. A hand, still grasping a dagger, with thin strips of flesh hanging down below the wrist. A jagged and broken bone emerging from beyond this. And you look down at your own arm and you see that below the man's other hand, there is only the flap of skin that used to compose most of your upper arm, the bone having been torn out with the hand itself. He literally tore off your arm.
Look, if this guy wanted me to give him a hand, he could have just. I gotta hand it to him. That was pretty gruesome.
Now, I will give you one more chance. And as he says this, he punctuates each pause by slapping the back of your dismembered hand across your face. Take the dagger and kill the fucking retard!
Well, now I don't have a hand.
So,
During this, I'm going to try to see if I can lock minds with anyone.
no one. Again, it's as if you're being completely locked off. Whatever this power is completely shut down your ability to use any powers. So, Josiah, or Bakari, I should say, do you still refuse?
Yeah, he's just glaring silently at this guy.
Excellent.
Very angry, defiance in his eyes, but trying to control himself, the agonizing pain that he's in at this point.
Well, the man he lets out this long sigh. His face is just this one of annoyed exasperation. He stops looking, he just looks off in the distance. Now this time, you see his arm moving, but there's no spray of blood, or anything you can notice, in fact. And despite this, you can see that Haka, when you look forward, has stopped crying. In fact, he's looking at you in pure shock. Then when you go and try and look at the others, you realize you can't move your head, and your entire body doesn't seem to respond. You try to speak, but you can't move your lips or even breathe. Even your eyelids are refusing to respond. Now, Bahith and Robbie, however, you two can see plainly what has happened. In a single, swift motion, the man took Kari's arm, the arm he ripped off, and stabbed the bone through the base of his skull, internally decapitating him. Robbie, in fact, she's been bespattered, one might say, with blood, jetting in uncertain spurts from Bakari's neck. Of course, he'd already lost a great deal of blood from his arm, so you're not as drenched as you might have been. Do you two say anything, or are you just going to let this one?
Who are you?
I a harbinger, he says. And as he says that, Haka suddenly is shaken from his state of shock, and there's this look of confusion on his face, which quickly gives way to agony. Okay. But yeah, to agony. Green light and flame seems to burst from his mouth as his skin begins to sizzle and melt. Now, Heath, you can hear him through your mind, and he is screaming and crying as this horrifying pain, echoes of it ripple through your mind as well. He cries in terrified agony for anyone to help him. This heat begins to build up, his skin cracking, and you begin thinking that he's crying when you realize his eyes have liquefied and are melting down his cheeks in rivers of vitreous fluid as his skin melts into his chair in bindings. And as he begins to contort horribly in twitching movements as he begins to desiccate, the last thing you see, Bakari, is this, having been forced to watch it the entire time, and as he shudders one last time and dies, consciousness fades from you. And Bakari, you have died.
I was going to say that I was going to, now that I had some telepathic ability, attack him with some mind bullets, but I guess that doesn't really apply.
No, it sadly does not. Unfortunately, we've had our first fatality. Well, two in a way. Haka is dead, a gruesome corpse, while Bakari his corpse looks on, fixed in that last position. So, the man, he's just watching all this with just complete cool indifference. He shakes his head and he just sort of cuts. He then grabs a dagger from the blade that is still, the hand is still stuck through his head, Bakari's head, and he just rips it out as if it was offered freely, despite that it was a death grip around that thing. He clicks his tongue rhythmically as he walks behind Bakari's corpse in slow, deliberate steps, tapping the pommel of the dagger against Bakari's scalp, in tune with his humming, until he stops right beside Robbie. He lets out a final tongue clip as he gestures the pommel at the little girl and then holds it out for Robbie to take.
Let her take the first shot.
Just died.
That is not how the game played. And as he says this, the little girl, she is just, although she was horrified by what she just witnessed, she is staring with utter contempt and fury at this man. She has no intention of just giving up. And she is looking at you with this look of expectation, believing that you would never give in to a monster like this. But he is just standing there, offering the dagger to you. What do you do?
Look at the girl. Look in her eyes. See if I can read anything from her face. More than that.
You can tell that she's terrified. That although she has no intention of giving into this, she's still terrified in an existential way. And you feel that fear too. But the man is still looking at you, staring, waiting for you to take that dagger. What do you do?
Nothing.
The man retracts his hand with the dagger, with a look of disappointment. And Robbie, you suddenly feel your entire body become paralyzed.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing?
Oh, my dear, that is really too bad. It was such a lovely thing, too. He puts his hand through Robbie's hair and lifts a little bit of it up with such pretty, pretty hair. And he sighs and lets go, stepping back. Now, Robbie, you wait for some great blow or some other vicious strike like you saw before Bakari, but nothing comes. Seconds pass in silence and nothing happens. But then you feel a strange itching sensation at the top of your head. Your eyes dart around trying to see what is happening when suddenly streams of red start coming over your vision. Blood is trickling down your scalp. The itching now turns into a stinging and stabbing pain like razor blades are dancing across your head. But Heath, you see what is happening, and it is the most disturbing thing you have ever seen. The strange sensation Robbie is feeling is her own hair moving of its own accord, slicing across her head and burrowing into her scalp. But Heath, Robbie, it's about this time you begin to see your own hair crawl across your vision. The edges of them sharp as razors as they begin wrapping themselves across your face and forcing themselves into your nose, ears, and mouth. The little girl, who has been staring in shock, now begins to howl as the same eldritch energies begin ravaging her form. You try and close your eyes, Robbie, but just to look away from the horror of what's happening, both the little girl and yourself, but the hair crawls under your eyelids and forces them open. The hair tips moving behind them, deeper and deeper into your skull. The little girl continues to have the very life pulled from her as her gums bubble away and her teeth fall out. But for you, Robbie, the hair Sorry about that. But for you, Robbie, the hair burrows deeper into your skull and begins wrapping itself around your brain, at which point it slowly begins to tighten. As the little girl lets out the last shudder and dies in this horrifying blaze that does not burn but ruins her utterly, there's this horrifying squelching noise as the hair tightens around your brain and cuts through it like dicing wire through cheese, and your movements stop.
What's going on, Dennis?
In an instant, both Robbie and the little girl are dead.
A lot of dying.
Yeah. All right. So, Heath, you're just doing an abject horror at what you've just seen. You don't even really notice the man moving behind you until he leans in front of you and forces the dagger into your trembling hand. God damn, with these puns, just okay.
Boss, the only people still alive are
Now,
Nox and
Please
the
don't make me
tiefling
repeat
guy.
myself a third time. Kill the tiefling, or both of you will suffer in ways that will make what you have just witnessed utterly merciful. And again, he's forced the dagger into your hand. Do you do anything, Heath?
I'll go ahead and say, I know what this is. That bastard stabbed me with his poison dagger, and now I have these dreams of doom. Fine, I will do as you say. This is not real, after all. And I'll move over to the tiefling and stab him.
Oh shit, okay, wow. And
I'm thinking this is all a dream, a really dark dream brought on by that
That's what
poison.
you're telling yourself. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, I tell myself none of this is real when I fucking do horrible crimes also.
Well, the dagger goes right into his heart. And the tiefling, unlike betrayal or anything like that, he looks at you with a look of pure relief that he won't have to suffer as they would. And he smiles and goes, "Thank you," and then fades away. But Nox, even as the dagger leaves your hand, you knew that this was no dream, that this was no delusion. You knew exactly what you were doing. And as you feel this sick numbness spread across your body, you feel a hand on your shoulder. Excellent work, my dear. I should have expected as much from one of the Ardusil, or one who was of the Ardusil. Now, as I promised, your reward awaits you. And he places the circlet atop your head. And in the distance, a door slides open. Golden light and sounds of what are frankly indescribable pleasures echoing from within. And almost automatically, you just get up and stumble towards the door, just utterly numb after watching this butchering. And as you go in, to your reward, the door seals shut. And as the door seals shut, the man's beaming smile turns into this cruel smirk. He turns around and walks leisurely towards the chairs, stopping and looking over the horrific scene coldly. He then looks at the other two figures in the shadow as they step forward. The one, which up to this point had not spoken words, now speaks and says only this. Well, shall we begin? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the prologue.
Wow.
Oh, yes, wow.
We died!
Honestly,
Well,
this
you
was
died.
more of a
Well,
this was more of a con log.
Yeah, I told you that it was going to get dark. Yeah. You guys did the whole happy part in the first session. This was the part where shit got real.
So what now?
Well, now the session is over. This prologue is over, and in doing so, you have set into motion events that will echo throughout this entire campaign. So look forward to that. Yeah. Jen, unfortunately, you won't be joining us for the main campaign, but again, if you want to come in for a guest, it's always available. But still, thank you for joining us for this, and thank you for playing your character so well.
it's fun.
What?
And I
three
am
games?
sorry that
All
you
three
died as,
Bioshocks?
like in some horrifying Junji Ito novel.
My hair.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. These scenes right here were some of the first that I actually wrote for this, because I was thinking, how exactly can I get through the point as to how dark and how bad things can get here?
Wow.
Yeah. So, Nox, holy shit, you went right at it. But you know what? You made it so Tashin didn't suffer, so there's that. Meanwhile, Jen and Josiah were just like, oh, what? Yeah, you can have your eyes bubble out and whatnot. I don't care.
You see, the fact that I was trying to telepathically lock with someone and couldn't made me think, okay, this and all the strange sensations in the room, this is probably not a real thing. You know, especially with, knowing of illusions and psionics and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this was all too real. And again, the decisions that you've made will, in particular this last one, is going to have a huge impact on the coming campaign. But
No one
again,
understands this
still,
game.
good job, everyone. That was great. I was worried. I didn't know how the battle was going to go. I was worried I had made things, too difficult on one end. You didn't know all these last scenes, but everything went quite well. Other than 2 dead player characters and 2 horribly named NPCs, as well as 1 less horribly named.
Yeah. So, what do we do going forward with
Well,
this?
Again, as I've actually told each of you now, we're not going. I mean, Jen, of course, will be withdrawing, but you will actually be creating entirely new characters, and those will be used in the main campaign. And we will also be doing a character creation session, not right now, but later once we figure out how we want to proceed going forward. That will sort of get things started in this respect, as well as also set into motion some additional elements of the game. So that was an interesting experience. My first time DMing. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think of it?
I thought it was pretty great. I like the combat and, all the intrigue leading up to that, with, what's going on with the children? Are they being taken? I figured that probably it was to knock with that, but, otherwise the knocking out and the nightmare scenario at the end was crazy.
Very scary.
Yeah, that one was Yeah, that I'm not. Can I just say right now that I am so freaking glad that you chose to stab him, because I didn't want to describe what was going to happen to Bahith. It was I was kind of writing these scenes. I was like, okay, these are getting really fucking dark. I don't want to do this last one.
I was trying to decide between two things. I was either going to stab him with the dagger or I was going to stab me with the dagger.
Unfortunately, he wouldn't have let you do that. I'm sorry to say.
I figured that, and I said, you know what? I got to do something different here.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get some more information or, something like that.
Well, hey, now you've gotten riches beyond your wildest dreams, pleasures that you could never have imagined, and all it cost was, you putting this guy out of his misery without even having him tortured. I mean, yeah, you could say that you did kind of do what the fellows in the darkness wanted you to do, so the argument could be made that you just did a lesser good, but in turn served a greater evil, but hey, I'm sure it's going to be okay. It'll all work out.
I totally would have stabbed either of the two guys. I didn't want to stab the kid, though.
I figured as much.
I knew you did that on purpose.
Yeah, I had to figure who the hell am I going to put across from Jen who she won't just stab immediately.
Damn it.
No, I wouldn't have been able to stab Haka, I'm sure.
I know you wouldn't have. And so, honestly, I think it all went really. I think that actually just went quite well. I mean, I was expecting a bit more deliberation, but you went straight at it.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? First time, this is not, and it's like, okay, A, gotta do what you gotta do. B, there's a good chance this isn't real anyway. So C, just go for it.
Yeah, babe. Hashtag just go for it.
Just go for it.
Yep.
That guy didn't leave much of an impression anyway.
Hashtag it's not real anyway.
It's not real anyway. It's not real.
Exactly, it's not real.
Yeah, none of it was real. No, there's definitely not, 3 or 5 four horrifyingly mangled bodies and one that's just got stabbed in the chest. So, So, Josiah, maybe you want to finish the recording and then we can talk more about the session. But anyways, thanks everyone for watching.
Good idea, yeah. So that's going to do it for this episode. Once we do our next thing and have another session of this, that will be recorded and streamed and put on YouTube and everything. But that's it for now. This is the end of the prologue of the Shattered Crown campaign with DM Scito, Optionum. And thanks for watching.